Hello everyone, welcome to The Burning Truth. I am of course Matt Burns.
And I am the forever useful James Irvine.
That he is. And just to point out, if we sound a little bit tired, there might be a good reason. Just a little bit.
Late nights.
Late nights. Driving home late. Going to a wrestling show. 10 matches on the card. More on that later. But anyway. Yes, this is The Burning Truth, and instead of wasting your time, would you kindly?
Yes. Without further ado, I shall bring to you the not-so 6 p.m. Sunday watershed.
By 1 minute.
1 measly minute.
Now 2.
The following broadcast may contain language, opinions and topics that may not be suitable for those that are very, 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 very sensitive, or for those that are very easily offended, or for those that are, for want of the word, mod arses. However, I do believe that Scrappy Doo is much easier on the eyes and ears.
Oh, I don't know. Controversial, that one is. Controversial.
Put him up.
Yeah, the weird thing about it is, he is now collectively one of the most hated characters of that, and yet he ended up actually saving that entire series.
Useless information that you never knew you needed.
Yeah. And no, I'm not going to do the more you know. Because, no.
The more you know, the know you know, you know, you know, you know, you know.
No.
No.
No, anyway, we are, of course, always and forever will be in full support of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, we are also in full support of the hashtag Speaking Out movement.
And we are always going to be friends of the LGBTQ plus community.
Glad you said it today. I think I'm too tired to...
You're welcome.
Even attempt it.
You're welcome, even though you do realise that was a bit risky, me doing it. Because you're tired, I'm tired. I'm thinking to myself, could I fumble the words?
It's a little bit risque.
Yeah. But anyway. Let's get down to what we're here for. Wrestling. Where do we begin on wrestling for this week?
Well, I can't really talk much about AEW because I haven't caught up with it this week.
You can't, I can, but I'm not going to be, we're not going to be spoilers.
No.
Interesting matchups, interesting matches, plenty to look into. Enough said. Moving on. WWE had an event last night.
You mean a premium live event?
I was trying to avoid it sounding pornographic.
Is it just me, or am I the only one that feels dirty by saying that?
No, not just you. That's why I was trying to avoid it, so, we could potentially hold on to that PG rating, and it's gone.
Well, I'm just going to put some of your cash in the overseas funds and put you with some bonds, premium bonds, and it's gone.
Almost like somebody else's insurance. But anyway, we won't get on to that.
It's sort of line of that, mate.
We won't get on to that. But anyway, there was a massive premium live event last night for WWE, which was Crown Jewel. Okay. Where do I begin with that? Where do I begin with that, honestly? Shall I prolong it, or shall I just rip the band-aid off and be brutally and utterly honest?
I always say that honesty is the best policy.
Right. The matches that we got, okay, I understand. Some of them were better than expected. Many of them were more baffling than anything. And then we've got matches suddenly. We got a face versus face match, which started off Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. So straight away, hard hitting, interesting way to start out. You know, spear, hurt lock, big slam, F5, big maneuver. The thing that surprised me was the end of that match. You'd think in a Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, it'd end in a car crash. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Nope. Bobby Lashley gets the hurt lock on. Brock Lesnar jumps up, put his feet on the top turnbuckle, pushed off alley like Bret Hart used to do, landed on his opponent and pinned him. You never thought I'd be saying that, did you?
No.
No. But then, for Mr. Almighty Bobby Lashley to be a little bit butthurt and lock in the hurt lock anyway till Lesnar passed out to say, "I'm dominant! I'm the Almighty!" and then leave. In other words, heel turn. Lesnar got the win, but at least he made Bobby Lashley looking strong. Okay, that's fine. Then we had the WWE Women's Tag Team title match. But before that, just as Damage Control had entered, we have a quick interview segment with the recently crowned new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Alexa Bliss and Asuka, to have a Bray Wyatt logo pop up on the TV screen right next to Alexa Bliss. Not foreboding. And for them to enter the match, do the match, where Alexa Bliss seemed to be doing a few heelish things, but could get away with it a little bit. Because it was against Damage Control. And if you're a tag team partner, how would you stop the opponents if they're going up on top rope and you're the tag team partner on the outside, on the outskirts? Hello? Hello? You there, Irvine? Are you there, Irvine?
Yeah, I'm just...
No, how would you stop them from climbing up on the turnbuckle if you're on the outskirts? Would you knock them off? Push them off? Do something?
Yeah, well, you'd do something, wouldn't you?
Yeah, not stand up.
Anything.
Not stand up on the apron and go, "Stop it! Stop it!"
Wait, who did that?
Io Sky.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, it just was
one of my favourite wrestlers on the women's roster as well.
And it was Alexa Bliss who was on the top rope going, "I'm going to shout at you for telling me to stop it." And Miss Twisted It just looked stupid. And instead, we ended up getting Nikki Cross getting involved, Thump getting involved. Guess what? Again, new tag team champions. So, here's a question for you. Why did we just have Damage Control drop the belts to Alexa Bliss and Asuka on Raw to then regain them back at Crown Jewel?
Good question. Nobody knows.
Hashtag reasons. And no, we're not on about the chocolates.
No, I was just about to say, don't get blaming the delicious chocolate toffees.
No, we're not on about that. We're not on about that. It just made absolute utter no sense.
Yeah, so tell me. Does it make sense, a women's match, did they have to wear outfits that were covering their bodies again?
Yes, they did.
Pathetic. Nobody cares.
And these outfits were very, very colourful. It just felt like a blancmange of colour.
Yeah.
It was just... You're trying to take focus off their bodies, but you've got a blancmange of colour focusing onto their... Move along. Anyway, next match, Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross. With Scarlett.
Yeah.
Steel cage match.
Yeah.
Bit too early for this match, I think, because we already had two big guys beating the crap out of each other in the opening match. And we even had a moment that was, again, almost identical to what happened in the previous match with the tag match of Scarlett trying to distract Drew McIntyre just by jumping, somehow getting onto the side of the cage, going, "Stop it!" For fuck's sake.
Oh, I thought that Triple H taking over was going to be a good thing.
Some of the matches were okay. There was a moment where there was an interesting superplex spot that happened, which was very impactful, really good. Somehow Scarlett decided when Drew went for go for the door to mace him and then mace the referee. Reasons? We don't fucking know.
Well, I don't understand why you'd mace the referee in a cage match.
Yeah, because he's holding the door. She wanted control of the door. To then lock the door. Eventually, Drew gets the upper hand, starts climbing over. She unlocks it for Karrion, try to crawl out for Drew to win by dropping down. What's going to take longer? Crawling to the door or Drew dropping from near enough the top of the cage? I think gravity wins on that one, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then the OC versus the Judgment Day.
Okay.
Yeah. This was a six-man tag match. And because in the tag match earlier, there was a Tower of Doom in a tag match, because of reasons, which meant the OC and the Judgment Day couldn't do a Tower of Doom. So instead, they had 3 moves happen at exactly identical times, which, to be honest with you, got the crowd really hyped. But what made it worse is worse, but also quite hysterically funny, which it shouldn't have been, was Rhea Ripley's face. It is to say, "Oh my god, I've never seen 3 moves done at the same exact time. I didn't think it was possible."
Is it another one of them reasons?
Yep. Distraction. She gets involved, and Michael Cole goes over the top with, so they're going to have to solve the Rhea problem. The Rhea problem. The Rhea problem.
Why does it sound like you're saying Rhea?
That's how he said it. Yeah. Moving on.
Gonna have to sort out your Rhea problem. Why do I offend?
It was just moving on. It was one of them. For Judgment Day to get the win due to cheating. Braun Strowman versus Omos. Yeah, wow. Big, meaty men. The Giants. The Battle of the Giants. Really? Who would you say is stronger? Braun or Omos?
I don't know. I mean, Braun's strong. We all know that.
Yeah. He's flipped trucks, flipped ambulances, but somehow could barely lift Omos.
Yeah, but don't forget though, it's all about continuity. He can't remember that he worked for more than one promotion when he fucking left. So, so he's obviously expecting us to not remember the fact that he flipped trucks.
It didn't exactly help the fact that he actually mentioned it in a fucking promo in the build-up. Dumbass! Sorry. For Omos to manhandle Strowman, yeah. Throughout the match, pummeling him, looking comfortable, as many people say. Yeah, this was his best showing. Doesn't mean he was fucking good.
Oh, no.
What?
I could just imagine how much of a clusterfuck that actually was.
Yeah, Strowman sold, got up, hit a running power slam, done, game over, moving on. Great match next. The Usos versus the Brawling Brutes.
Yeah, I can imagine that was decent.
I will say this. Jey Uso.
Did they feel very Usy?
Well, Jey wasn't, seeing as he got a broken wrist going into the match, potentially.
Wanker's cramp, mate.
Yeah, because he had to have his arm and wrist strapped up, which Mark Cole had to cover, saying, "Oh yeah, you've got to defend the titles on the next SmackDown, but he's getting his wrist checked out on Monday." The match was good, although at one point I will say it looked like the Brawling Brutes had the win. They made you doubt it, motherfucker. As you can imagine. Which to me, fucking great. Finish the match. Fuck. I don't think even the Dudleys have tried that.
Tried what?
Let's just say Butch was on top rope. Jay super kicks him. Right. They're on the top rope. Jay then lifted Butch off the top rope, flapjacking him off the top rope, flying down towards Jimmy to land an Avalanche 1D. An Avalanche 3D. Yeah. Look, I will say, impressive finish.
Did it look original?
Actually, it did. I didn't see it coming. Then we had the Raw Women's Championship last women's standing match. Oh boy. If you're going to do look like you're going to run somebody over with a go-kart scene, or put somebody on a go-kart and have them looking like they're fearing for their life sort of moment, drive the cart fast, not at 10 miles per hour or 5.
Or in reverse?
I think reverse would have been quicker. Honestly. It looked like Bayley was going to attempt to run over Bianca, and Bianca had forever to move. And then Bianca had Bayley on top of the cart to then drive down the ramp towards a table that was set up. Threw her off the top of the cart, which this moment I will say, why the fuck didn't medical team immediately come out to check up on them? I thought WWE were about safety, because Bayley's back should not be bending like that on what should be a breakable table. Cue Botchamania.
She's going for a table. Oh wait, no, she's not. She's
It looked like. You know their tables are meant to be, rigged to go through. Yeah, Bayley's back bent more than the frickin' table did. So instead, they went, oh right, she hasn't gone through the table. Let's, instead of thinking, let's move on to the next spot. No, she's going through this table. Bianca decreed. Picked her up in a powerbomb and brutally slammed her through. Fuck. Then somehow eventually Bayley got the upper hand because Bianca missed the aerial move involved, on chairs and everything. And then the big finish was, I don't get. It was like a variation of what Cena did. The whole thingy. The whole, oh, I'm going to tie his legs up against the post and everything. They didn't do that. They shimmied her into the ladder and then put the ladder down on top of Bayley, put the legs under the bottom rope so she couldn't lift it up. It was sort of original idea, but it was like, if Bayley was smart, she would literally try and pull herself up, and that would probably give her more momentum to get out of the 10 count. Agreed? You'd have to see it to understand what I mean. Or to care. So, effectively, Bianca Belair is the new champion. I feel as though she's a good wrestler, but she's got very boring, very blandly, very quickly. Not good. You still with us?
Yes. I was just thinking then.
What were you thinking?
I was just thinking, I'm just not sure what's going on with them. I know, like they say, Saudi Arabia is just a glorified house show.
Yeah.
And it is.
Bray Wyatt was there.
I should know if he was.
Yeah. He talked, and then a video on the screen popped up. Basically, she's Uncle Howie saying he should keep the mask on, hide away, don't be yourself, be the monster, blah, 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 and end scene, which has been happening on SmackDown anyway, so we're getting nowhere with that angle, so no idea why. Then we get to the main event. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. Whether you love him, whether you hate him, whatever, Logan Paul put on a really, really good performance. He really did. Although, at one point, even though they even teased that he could potentially win it at one point, it was like, fucking hell. But what made it even worse is, at one point, I can't believe I'm about to say this, Logan Paul did a buckshot lariat.
Yeah, I saw that.
And everyone's sitting there saying, oh, you did a buckshot lariat better than CM Punk. Yeah, because that's not CM Punk's move. I personally think he did it better than...
And he's twice his age.
What?
And he's near enough twice his age.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I actually thought he did a better buckshot lariat than Hangman.
No.
But then again, I have seen some shit. It depends on. Well,
no.
It depends on who was doing it.
I get where you're coming from. It was a good buckshot lariat because I saw it.
Yeah.
But no.
Fair enough. The height he got on the springboard, it looked like he was going to do a phenomenal form, but I think it was more of a springboard Superman punch. Fuck me, what a picture he got there, did we? Well done. That looked like an epic picture where you got Roman Reigns looking up at Logan Paul, looking like he's about to uppercut him, and Logan Paul coming down from the sky, looking like he's about to Superman punch Roman. Epic scene.
I also thought it was a genius idea to live.
Yeah, I was about to cover that. Literally grabbing one of his mates' phones to live stream him doing a fucking leap off the top rope, frog splash through the announce table.
Was it a frog splash off? Was it an elbow?
No, frog splash.
That is gonna hurt.
And the landing looked like it sucked. Bear in mind that it did. It looked like it did.
When we do a top rope move, that's exactly what we see people on the way down.
Yeah. But the landing, it was literally, it just, you see lying down like, oh, I've got a few minutes. You don't blame him if he didn't get straight back up, you fucking know why. Right.
Oh, yeah.
To then have the Usos come out, Logan Paul's friends over the barricade and super kick the shit out of them. What the fuck? And when I say super kick, I don't mean like, oh, they're gonna fake pull it. They're gonna do it like how they do with the wrestlers. No, they've probably been given orders to kick the shit out of them.
That you've got full reign, lads. Literally, go to town.
Yeah, one of them, you see him get kicked, it's like, yeah, he had to fucking bump that. Right. And what was this all for? To bring in Jake Paul. With entrance. Right. Okay. He comes down. You know how they say, certain athletes, showcase what they can do? They can transition from one sport to another quite well.
Mm.
Yeah, you can tell that Logan Paul did wrestling training before he actually got in the squared circle. Jake hadn't. So, he's a boxer, isn't he?
No different than Mike Tyson, yeah.
Yeah, but what are boxers like when trying to pull a punch when they haven't learned to wrestling punch?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Jay. Sorry, Jimmy. Fuck.
Is it one of them where it's like literally you could feel your teeth go into the back of your throat?
I'm pretty sure I didn't feel that at one point. I don't know. Let's just say this. One of the punches I looked at, it was like, I think his anus just fucking felt that rattle of his teeth. It's like, damn. Get out. eventually Solo Sikoa would come out to step up to Jake Paul like he's the street brawler, which looked interesting. Squaring up for Jimmy and Jay Uso to like they're about to square up, surround Jake Paul. For then Logan Paul literally do a Jeff Hardy over the ropes. He fucking swantoned over the ropes.
That's crazy.
Gets to his brother. Yeah, we're celebrating. I'm getting. Gets Superman punch, speared, bye.
3 moves of death.
Oh, it was literally Superman punch. Ooh, ah, spear. Done.
That's to be expected. The 5 moves of doom.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is Roman was on point in his rest holds. Fuck's sake. Although it does open the doors for more YouTubers.
Oh no.
Because Roman being Roman, all you YouTubers, this is what's going to happen to you. Beat KSI, Mr. Beast. You can hear off Logan Paul, we're coming. We're not going anywhere. It's like, you see what I'm doing to this punk?
I'm not surprised. But they're calling out more it's not what people want to see.
Yeah. But one thing I will say is for the match was far better than what you would expect. Genuinely. In all fairness.
Yeah, it just sounds like he threw his body weight around.
No, it wasn't as bad as you thought, because when it was needed to be good, it was good. It showed a constant professional from Roman's side, but at the same time, Roman didn't have to carry him as much, which was good.
Yeah, but it's like we were saying last week, though. Logan and his brother are just like the naturally born athletes.
Yeah. But you got Ronda Rousey saying, let Logan Paul take the belt. He'll bring more fans to you.
No.
Even Logan Paul knows not to take the belt.
I think if he did, it'd have like David Arquette.
Yeah. Fair enough, at least he, at that time, David Arquette couldn't wrestle. Now he can. Where Logan Paul can wrestle because he's done training. He was even training with Shawn Michaels.
He fucking needs to be. I reckon that's where he got the whole spot from fucking jumping off the top of the rope onto the announcer's table.
Possibly, but he was doing that. He did that in the Mysterio match. He did that on the Miz. But mate, I'll give him his due. Fucking hell, he flies.
But again, it's going back to the old same point that we made last week, that him and his brother are naturally born athletes.
Yeah, definitely. And as much as they might be, sometimes they might be controversial.
Sometimes.
A lot of the time.
Understatement of the century.
Okay, a lot of the time. And for God's sake, whoever put out the fucking post stating that Logan Paul learnt that in New Japan from Hangman Page, that post, dude, what the fuck?
Oh, does that mean Hangman Adam Page going to WWE? Yay, let's make more.
No.
More rumours, yay.
Oh, no, it's not a rumour. It was a bit of bad taste from whoever made the post, because he says, if you want to find out how he did it, type in Logan Paul, Hangman, Japan. No! Do not do that. especially children.
Oh.
Yes. Do not. Bear in mind, Logan Paul was thrown off YouTube for quite some time over that incident.
I don't know what that's regarding because I don't care.
No, but you know it's serious enough the
You
fact that
have to, you're gonna have to fill me in.
he was in a certain forest in Japan.
But okay, and
It's known for where people go to do something. To inflict upon yourself.
are we talking a sexual act or are we talking
The end, pretty much.
to commit suicide?
Yeah.
For God's sake, just say it, will you? For God's sake.
Basically, it's referencing the infamous suicide forest that's in Japan. Logan did a video in there and inadvertently come across an individual who'd done the deed, and unfortunately it was recorded, uploaded to YouTube on unfucking cut. And bear in mind, the individual who'd done it, that individual's family didn't even know about the situation and found out through that fucking video.
Oh yeah.
Caused mass controversy, got him kicked off, but it was just no. So if you do see that meme or whatever, and someone says, "Oh, if you want to see where he learned it, put his name in, Japan, Hangman." No. Do not.
Yeah, I kind of get where you're. No, you don't want to watch that shit.
Although I believe that the actual footage is off YouTube entirely. It's been cut out. It's gone. But you're guaranteed, it's the internet. You know some fucking moron will actually have it. Need to say more?
No.
Moving on. Anything you want to cover?
Obviously, I can't really cover AEW or anything WWE related at the minute. I will probably cover like what I've been watching just recently.
Actually, let's cover one more thing. Logan Paul has got a knee injury that is going to put him on the shelf for a little bit from the match, because I believe he tore his meniscus and potentially suffered an MCL and ACL tear.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, that is very painful.
And he did it halfway through the match. And still continued. Ow!
Yeah, I wouldn't. That
had to suck.
Yeah.
That's the best way of putting it. That had to suck. Anyway, I'm just going to... Shall we just cover this show that we were at yesterday? Mention that?
Yeah, I mentioned that.
We were at APW's anniversary show. 6th anniversary show. I will say, it was a massive show. Plenty of matches. Got some interesting names making appearances, like Mark Andrews, and I believe we even had Kid Lycos, who suddenly randomly appeared at last second as well. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I am, however, going to say this. If you are going to be watching that show, either through a streaming service or as such, be prepared for a long haul.
Very long.
10 matches on the card. Honest opinion, less matches, give more time to the other matches. Probably would have had some of the crowd a bit more happier. To a degree. Agreed?
Yeah.
That's going to be the critique. I'm just going to say they should have had less matches because a lot of people who got matches later on the card were having to wait for a long time. And people can overrun. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the last bell was 11:15.
Go.
Hello?
Made you paranoid then, didn't I?
Yeah, you did a little bit. It was about 11:15. So
Yeah,
by the time...
It was a very late night. By the time that we'd left the venue, it was about 11:30.
Yes, we know that it was bonfire night, which could have explained a lot of the smog that was on the back roads for some reason. Or it was just a really cold night.
Well, you only have to ask Kelsey because he was literally steaming round the back.
True.
It was warm in there, though.
Yes, it was.
It was warm. I felt sorry for the wrestlers, actually, because it was fucking warm in there. But then again, it was good for me because I could go stand outside and talk to some of the guys for a bit and then go back inside and be like, ooh, nice and toasty.
Yeah. I think that would have been the perfect time for someone to sit there and go, in this heat?
Yeah, oh, God.
What? Anyway.
Imagine him trying to ref one of them matches.
No! 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 God, no!
See, I enjoyed a couple of the matches. But it's like you say, by the time the first half had come, by the time the interval had come round, the crowd had just kind of
waned.
They'd lost all their buzz.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, it's not thousands of people, it's a couple hundred people, 200-300 people in there.
Yeah.
So it's not going to have, like a wrestling, a WWE, because it's local promotion. You're not going to get that sort of atmosphere.
It's a different vibe.
The wrestlers technically are working harder to keep the crowd going.
Yeah.
But I did see that there wasn't a lot of that going on.
Fair enough.
They were just hoping that their moves would keep the crowd on the toes, and unfortunately, it just doesn't work.
Doesn't always work that way.
No, I mean, yeah, there was a couple of matches where the moves that were on display, it's like you had the
6-man?
Yeah, you had the 6-man, fatal 4-way, and the difference between the two is that the 6-man had a lot more crowd work in, whereas the fatal 4-way didn't.
Not as much.
And it probably didn't help. I did feel sorry for one of the wrestlers. His entrance music, he hadn't got any.
Oh.
Whether it's a malfunction, I don't know. But I felt sorry for him because obviously
tech issues can happen.
Who's this unknown entity? He's making his debut, and crowd was flat.
Ouch.
So that's going to be damaging.
Yeah.
But,
although the workers in the ring try to assist with trying to get the crowd clapping for the entrance and everything, which
it didn't work.
No. Well, at least they tried.
I did feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, he put on a solid display in the ring, so he had a good debut anyway. But
debut.
The Fatal 4-Way was just one of them matches where it was like they were relying too much on their moves to keep the crowd going.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it doesn't always work, and unfortunately on this occasion, it didn't work.
And my last critique, because we'll need to move on, a chess match midway through a triple threat tag team match.
Yeah, don't get it.
There's been an ND, but what the fuck?
It wasn't even entertaining. I literally, as soon as I saw the chessboard come out, I was like,
no,
what the fuck? I mean, this is on. No, I'm gonna be completely honest now, because it was stupid. It didn't make sense. It had no place of being in the match.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it literally shat all over that match.
Yeah. They might not. It did.
If somebody's upset by what I've just said, fine. Come talk to me. You need to be told that it doesn't always work. Indie wrestling is for specific crowds. APW is not one of them specific crowds.
They might like some fancy moves and some comedy spots, but that was too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Even from, I can suspend some, some leeway. I give some leeway, but that to me was
too far.
No, to me, you're on a show. You're being paid good money. If anything, you had guys then wrestling in the match while you pair are doing the chess match. So straight away, you're either taken away from what's actions happening in the ring, or no one's giving a flying fuck what you're doing. And then when one of you wins, I won. You won what?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I say, I felt sorry for those that wanted to take that match seriously.
Yeah, I did. And on top of that, if they were going to do an angle like that, the only way I think they could have done it is if they literally started it and did it. If it was a quick skit, to make sure my words are correctly.
But it wasn't. It was dragged out throughout the match.
It was dragged out to the match. It should have been a moment that could have happened in the ring. Just get a table, get it on, and just do a 3-move finish.
I'll be honest, right? I'll be completely honest. It's that kind of stuff that makes bookers look at you and go, why am I booking you again?
Yeah, it does. Because
it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. It wasn't smart. It was out of place.
And on top of that,
you're up against a wrestler like Charles Kelsey, and yes, he is a friend, and blah blah blah. And I'm not being
biased,
and not in the slightest. I actually stood outside and listened to the fans talk about that match.
Yeah.
And when you've got about 10 fans, even children, saying, "I don't get why they were playing chess."
Yeah.
And if you could easily argue that, you don't understand the wrestler's gimmick,
You don't understand the wrestler's gimmick. You're meant to be getting that across to the fans.
Yeah,
that's your job, fail.
And you failed at that, and that could cost you bookings because it's just. And I also heard a couple of the adult wrestlers as well just saying, "I fucking hate indie wrestling."
Yeah. On top of that, you've also outside the ring, so not everyone can see you as well. So we had no idea because the table's that far down. So everyone who's near the where the screen was, because you were near the bar area, can they see what you're doing?
You know what that reminds me of?
Go on.
It reminds me of like a stupid skit that WWE try and pull off and nobody cared.
Which one?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm just comparing it to a
Oh
stupid
yeah.
skit.
Oh,
that
you mean
nobody
so
cares.
basically like having someone run on the background and going, "I'm on screen." See you later, and run off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Nobody cares.
nobody cared. Correct, and that was my point. It was just, and on top of that, what even worse is the fact that the guy who's got the gimmick of being good at board games and whatever was the one who lost the board game match. So that didn't put his gimmick over. That put somebody else over as better than him at his own gimmick.
I think my silence says it all.
Yeah. If the individual listens to this and if you want to put across your thoughts and feelings and state why it was a good reason to do it, more than welcome to.
You're more than welcome to, but I will tell you, it will not be met with light-hearted criticism.
No, because if I saw that at my show, I'd be actually questioning in regards to your wages.
Yeah, because if you've got to rely on a prof...
No, the fact is, it's not that. It's a skit that was done throughout the show, outside of the ring, where not everyone can fucking see, so you're taking any focus of the match away from whatever's happening in the ring. And if you want to do it funnily, why don't you just get a tape? Why don't you just imply it take longer to set it up in the ring, get it in the ring, do a 3-move finish, done, have the heel get angry, smack the thingy out the way, and then just brawl you.
Yeah.
Would that have worked better?
It'd have worked better. Or just not do it at all.
Or not do it at all. That's my point. The thing is,
it wasn't a smart decision. It just wasn't.
I just come up with that solution just a second. And I know hindsight can be a bitch.
And I won't lie, right? And this is me being completely honest. That whole match was a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
That whole match was a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
And it just...
Because of the whole chess thing as well, that can also have people out of sequence of certain stuff, out of place and confused disorder. Because not only are they having to think about the match, they're thinking about, oh, what move am I making?
Yeah, exactly, and that's not just on chessboard.
Yeah.
It just without harping on about it too much, because it was one thing in the entire show that really fucking annoyed me.
Yeah.
Now, if I was a promoter, I would be saying to you, I would literally be saying to you, okay, can you explain to me what the chess thing was about?
Did you forget something?
And do you feel like it worked? And if your answer to me was, oh, well, we did it because of his gaming gimmick. Okay, I could possibly let that slide. So his gimmick is he's better at board games than anybody else. So why did you win?
Yeah.
And not only did you... so you're saying that he's a shit wrestler? No, he's a shit at games, really.
Yeah.
And he can only rely on his wrestling. But he couldn't really rely on his wrestling because he was too busy playing fucking chess. And then I'd ask you for the second part of, do you think that was a good idea to do? Well, do you? And then, if you would have tried to argue the case that, yes, you thought it was a good idea, I would literally turn around and say, well, I'm sorry, but if them are the kind of ideas that you're coming up with and you try to implicate that at my show, it will cost you a booking. because I don't want that shit on my show. That's me looking at it. If I was a promoter, I might not be an experienced wrestler, but I do also look at wrestling as a whole, and it, I've been watching it since I was a very, very fucking small child. I know what works and I know what doesn't work. That did not work. There is no way to justify it. And you should really be very disappointed in yourself for doing it.
And I believe he was okay with it after the match as well.
And I will say this as well, that, just to show that I'm not being biased, for the more experienced wrestlers that were in that match should have known better and should have said no.
Which I think they did, but they still did it anyway.
No, I didn't know about that, but either way, if that's the case, if they didn't know, they should have said no.
Or if they did it off the cuff and just did it anyway.
That's even more of a case for me to turn around and say, well, if you're not going to listen to your superiors, then
or
why
even
are you here?
Showcase it.
Why are you here?
Yeah. If you think it's a bad enough idea to not present it to your boss, why would you think it'd be a good idea to do it without his discretion?
Because I wouldn't lie, mate. With it being a 10-match card, I'd be looking at that match. I'd literally just look and say, right, it was a 10-match card. I'm going to watch through it. And then, because obviously the promoter, he's doing his own stuff as well at the same time, so he probably didn't see that. But
he'll probably be questioning that.
I would hope he would be questioning that.
I can see him questioning that.
Because I just thought it was stupid. And even when you've got kids going, it wasn't funny, I just didn't understand why they were doing it. That means that the wrestlers have failed at their job.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be entertaining the crowd, not boring the shit out of them.
Yeah.
So, if I was just to give you some constructive criticism without being nasty, I would say drop the indie shit.
Or less of it.
No, I would say, you know my feelings on indie wrestling.
No. I don't mind.
Majority of the time, it doesn't work.
No, majority. There is the exception as long as it's done right, is my thoughts. Now, for me, I understand that you have to bring something different to a match.
Now, if you were looking at the 6-man match that had indie wrestling in it, it had...
And it worked.
It had straight wrestling in it. It was mat wrestling. It was brilliant. Really enjoyed it. CJ had a good showing.
No kidding.
I think it needs to be capitalised on of how hot he is at the moment.
Yeah. Definitely red hot.
Red hot, he's getting booked, he's getting looked at by Wrestle Carnival. Not exactly a small show, it's a big deal, Wrestle Carnival is. And it won't be long until he's featuring on even bigger promotions. So, hard work pays off at the end of the day. But it's like I say, there was indie stuff in that match with the whole caterpillar suplex spot.
Oh my God.
But the funny thing about it was
they didn't do
one of the wrestlers broke the mold just towards the end of it and literally crawled backwards through all the wrestlers' legs to shit can everyone. That to me was hilarious.
That's indie wrestling done right.
It was done right, but this is the thing. Indie wrestling, it was done right by all the wrestlers that have got a hell of a lot of experience and have been and are at the top of their game at the moment.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? I know I would.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you on that one. Definitely not. No, definitely not arguing with you on that one.
So yeah, like I say, it just needs to just use the KES method.
Keep it simple, stupid.
But yeah, like I say, it wasn't the only match that was a bit. Because I thought that Eddie Cobain had a really good match against Jason Joshua.
Definitely.
There were some good matches.
And,
I think it's not just that though, because that's following on from storyline as well. So it was like, we got story in there as well, and obviously you know what I'm like for storytelling.
And Kenny Temple versus Joe Black. Props to Joe Black for being able to continue the match after that head kick.
After the head kick. Also, congratulations to CJ Rollins as well for actually taking the drop kick to the face like a champ whilst pinning somebody. And I was
the weird thing about it was...
when that happened, both of us stood there at the door and went, we were like Chris Tucker. We were like Chris Tucker and Ice Cube sitting on the step in the film Friday going, damn! It's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, we didn't watch the main event, I will admit. I'm not going to lie. We didn't watch the main event because I was getting some fresh air. And it's like that. At that point, we weren't the only ones that had lost interest because it was just too long. I would have liked to have seen it because it was a high-stake match.
It was?
Well, it wasn't the only high-stake match on the card.
Yeah. There was a lot of high stakes.
A lot of high stakes, obviously. Sanchez has now lost his career.
At APW?
At APW. He's lost his career at APW because he lost the match, and it was obviously...
to his brother?
Yeah, so it was like,
Yeah. Make you feel all the feels. But, yeah, there was so much going on, and the problem is, each match of that is going to weigh on the crowd as well, because 10 matches does weigh down.
Yeah. I think, for me personally, I think 7 matches is about right for a long show.
Yeah.
For a special show, for a long show, obviously, I was with 7
maybe,
matches.
give or take, depending on one match being short.
Yeah, well, obviously. But I'm just saying, as well, that UKWA, we did 7 matches. It went over a little bit by about, 20 minutes, half an hour?
Potentially, but even we said it was a bit long.
It was a bit long, but that was because we had some returns from injury and stuff like that, and people, we just thought it'd be great to let them have their time back because it's a big deal when you come back from injury. I know that all too well. So, we just felt like it was the right thing. Just let them get on with it. And it worked. It's come out to be one of the best shows that we've done there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like I say, anyway, it just... What I keep thinking is that anything over 7 matches is just too much.
Definitely.
The crowd are no longer invested. Unless you've got some squash matches to chuck in there, where it was just literally like Keith Lee versus Serpentico.
Thump. See you later.
Yeah. Unless you've got something like that, then, it is a bit too long. But, I wouldn't... this is where the misconception is. I went down there as a wrestling fan. I watched. I enjoyed some of it. Well, I enjoyed a lot of it, but there was also a lot of it I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying this to go, oh, well, Irvine, you're slagging off a company. No.
No.
Let's get one thing straight. We do not slag off companies.
No, we're not actually...
when we go to shows, we criticise.
Positive.
We criticise. why, what could have been done better. And if you want to take away this advice and just go, actually, they're right, then hopefully we've helped. But if not, and you want to take it as we're insulting you, then I'm sorry, but we're there as fans. We have every right to criticise. And then, if you're not big enough to take that criticism, walk away and work on it, then you're the problem, not us.
Bear in mind that I've had, UK Ways had criticism. And we do get criticism.
Yeah, of course. Even some of the wrestlers after a show would just go, this could have been better. Okay, explain to us why it could have been better.
Okay.
What would you have done differently? We don't just go, oh, you're a prick, fuck off, don't want to know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. No, that's far from it. At UKWA, we are striving for perfection.
We are aiming to bring what is best. Not in just for the
interest of the crowd. We know our crowd.
We try to do what's best for what the audience wants. If the audience doesn't like something, and believe me, they have told me.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously Matt Burns, he's got a very good connection with his crowd. And no doubt Basham has with a
definitely
crowd.
Definitely.
So hopefully he does get... I mean, I think he even overheard him admit himself, it was just too long.
Yeah, he openly admitted himself. And the thing is, it's a learning curve. And the thing is, credit to him, he knows where to take criticism and he does listen.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a nice thing. But it's like you will always get promoters, some that are quite local to ourselves, that don't like criticism. They think they know what's best. But then when somebody who's been to NXT comes along and says, well, I'm not being funny, mate, but they were actually right, you're wrong. And you still won't apologise because you knew you were wrong. That's just your ego. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm not there to stroke it.
The thing is, we're not there to sit there and say, oh, it was all crap and everything. If someone just says it's just crap, that's an opinion. That's just an opinion. And opinions can come and go and change from random things. Someone's opinion can change when you explain to them why you did it that way, as such. Because if you explain your reasoning behind it, that could change their opinion of why. And it's like, oh yeah, I can see why you did that now. Discussions need to happen regularly.
Yeah, exactly. Not just for yourself, but you should have a sit down with your regular wrestlers. What could have done better, what could have done that could be better. What would you do? Go through some ideas, bounce off one another, storytelling.
Yeah.
I just feel like everyone could benefit from being sat down and just going, right, okay, last show, there were certain things that was clusterfuck. What do you think went wrong?
Yeah.
And if the wrestlers know what went wrong, then you've got a good bunch of lads. But if they all sit there just going, oh, I don't see anything that was wrong with anything, I thought it was an amazing show. Them are the yes men.
Yeah.
They don't want to rock the boat, and they feel like if they stress their opinion, they're going to get shot down straight down the card. No. And that doesn't happen at UKWA. And I would like to think that it doesn't happen anywhere else.
But bear in mind, when I've been at other shows and someone's asked me, provided me with a unpopular opinion, have I sat there gone, I accept that opinion?
No, you're an evil bastard and you're a fucking ogre.
What do you mean?
You're a cunt.
I tell it as it is.
Exactly, a cunt. Don't forget the useful.
I'm not a cunt, I'm a Chianta.
No, I'd say that you are a see you next Tuesday.
Fair enough. Well, I'm not disagreeing with you. What?
Well, you can't because you know it's true.
You expected me to disagree with you? Were you expecting a battle, back and forth? Me just going, why are you calling me this? I'm offended.
I don't know. I just assumed that you were a bit like, fucking monster man.
No. The thing is, I always take. I've always taken criticism, but my honest opinion is, if someone can sit there and when someone sits there saying, well, you don't want this individual because of this, this, and this, or making sly comments of someone how they look or anything, but not giving a actual genuine reason for improvement or anything, you're just stating your opinion, then, quite frankly, fuck off.
So this is one thing that's going to bring me to my next point, is that when you are paid on a show, doesn't matter whether you're friends with the promoter or blah, 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 don't sit there slagging off people. It's just, dude, it's not cool. You've been paid, or you're getting paid.
Yeah.
To put on a match. Yeah. You are there to put on a show. You're there to concentrate on your match. Mm-hmm. But if you're not happy with how the promoter has booked your match,
mention it to them directly.
Just say, I have concerns.
Or can I have a quick chat about a discussion? Yeah.
I have concerns. I just feel like this possibly would work better. And that can, if it's too late, don't take that as, no, fuck off.
Yeah. In some cases, it can be either too late or it might not work for their idea. Or if it does work, the thing is, regardless of it, if you're wanting to make a change or something,
if it's something small that's easy to change, then yeah, that's fine. Obviously, we'll listen, and if it's no good, then we'll toss it to one side and just say, look, I don't feel that way. Maybe another time.
Yeah, could be used down the road. Could be a future idea.
But then to literally within earshot of promoters, badmouth the promoters, saying they haven't got a clue what they are doing because they have said no to your idea and you're not listening to the reason why, then I'm afraid you are going to get yourself a reputation.
Yeah, it does happen.
And unfortunately for yourself, for certain individuals, they have made a reputation for themselves already because they just could not keep their mouth shut.
Now, you might have a disagreement with a promoter, and I think if anyone, I'll state this for the record: if anyone's got an issue with anything I've done on my shows, don't tell everyone else first. Approach me directly.
Yeah, don't sit there and badmouth the promoter and the booker, who are technically, who are in the same room, by the way, within earshot and can hear you. Yes. And not only that, you've got other people like myself who are involved in the company who also heard it. And it's not good. So if you've got 3 people that have heard you, that have got a stake in the company, kind of doomed yourself to a shit fucking storm there, really, aren't you?
You're either going to get buried or you're going to get thrown out.
Yes, but then don't try and have the cheek to try and add extra wage on top of for yourself when you aren't really technically worth what you quote yourself to be in the first place.
If you're gonna provide a quote for a show, stick to it. Don't keep increasing it every show.
Yeah, no. We have issues with wrestlers that don't keep their word. We have issues with wrestlers that oversell themselves and then wonder why their wages are dropped on the show.
Or they're not booked for future ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
So,
in the back? Can't fit you in.
Can't fit you in. Maybe next time. We've got to keep a wage structure here. You're too expensive.
Because
we won't beat around the bush, and we will not stroke your ego.
And I will state this: the second you're increasing the wage, and this is a little tip for promoters. The second they ask for more money and you give it, you're saying that is what they're worth. So that they will get that next time. They will instantly.
And you cannot blame the cost of travel, because I've travelled all the way to Wales for a £10 payout. Yes, I'm at the start of my career. I may not have had as many matches as most people, but still, at the end of the day, if I increase my wage, it's for a good reason.
Or if a promoter increases the wage, and this is on the flip side, because I will say I've had this one before. I've had a worker turn around and try to refuse. They gave me a quote and I gave them a little bit extra.
Because they actually did their job and they excelled.
Yeah.
But also you do know that by doing so, you also have to keep that honour now.
Yes.
Because you value them as a worker.
Yes.
So it could be the case they might just have a bit of a shit show into the next show. Doesn't necessarily mean then that you can backtrack and just...
No, I agree with that. And the thing is, they've always put on the individual in question, always put on a great show, always put on a great performance, and actually drove quite a bit of a distance.
And helped with the ring as well.
Yeah, definitely. So from the get-go, no questions, happy with the wage. In other words, take the damn wage.
Take my money. Philip J. Fry.
Yeah, take my money.
But yeah, anyway, there's just a lot of things in local wrestling that people don't realise go on in the backgrounds.
Yeah.
If you go to a show and it's like, oh, I got my favourite wrestler here, he's quite a regular, and then they're not there once, just bear in mind that there's always either a good reason or a bad reason that they're not there.
It might just be the fact of something might not have worked out, which is fair enough, for a valid reason, or if it's an invalid reason, then bad on the booker and promoter, whatever. But if there's a if the individual is being a bit of an arse towards the promotion or anything in the work of being in bad faith and everything, that can also explain that. But there's many reasons.
Mm-hmm. Not the chocolate ones.
Correct.
I missed that.
Because they're nice, and yes, I know I am a type 2 diabetic in remission, but
diabetes.
With diabetes, a reason is fucking worth it.
But yeah, there's a lot of things that go on in local wrestling that people don't realise, and if people are upset that we're breaking kayfabe or whatever, don't care. Don't care.
The internet broke that.
Yeah, the internet broke that many, many years ago. And,
and I'm pretty sure Vince did it, actually,
like Ric Flair saying that, oh, well, yeah, I don't like fans using our terminologies. Well, unfortunately...
Someone spilled the beans.
It's too late now. You need to accept it and move on and stop being such a dinosaur.
Or make up a new language.
Yeah, make up a new language. Which, by the way... In the UKWA locker room, there is plenty of fucking language. And banter. Lots and lots of banter.
Diabetes.
I do feel, though, that it only takes one to start rocking the boat. It is best to cut the rot when you first realise what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, we get it. Promoters are not contractually subjected to the fucking workers' demands and vice versa. But at the end of the day, wrestling is about being a community, showing a professional standard, and making new friends, meeting new people, making new friends, and getting along. There shouldn't be any of this toxic behaviour.
Yeah, leave the toxicity out.
Yeah, so this is probably one message that needs to be stressed. Because, like I say, one person rocks the boat, unhappy locker room, unhappy promotion. Promotion goes down the shit pan because promoter won't sack off the person who's causing the rot.
But at the same time, if you've also got a booker who's being an arse, promoter needs to check up on that if they are being a fucking arse. Or if there is any flags. Because
see, for me, it's like when I was in my training school, it was a toxic environment after I had my injury. They couldn't take into the account that my mental health was suffering and that I was lashing out to the wrong people, etc., etc. But instead of supporting me, they turned their back on me and literally stabbed the knives in my back, including the promoter as well and the trainer, well, so-called trainer. Stabbed me in the back, and now I'm literally left having to restart my career elsewhere because I was stabbed in the back. But I removed myself from that toxic environment, and if people want to say that I'm lying, fine. You say that I'm lying. I've got messages to prove otherwise.
And you're entitled to your opinion, but also understand that's an opinion.
Yeah, but also when you've got proof, it's not really an opinion; it's proof.
Correct. And on top, on top of that, I'll just point out he didn't mention names, but you might, if you've gotten on to who he's referring to, that's entirely what you think. You came up to that conclusion, and if you're the person in question who's offended by it, who probably says nothing, is that talking to me?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
yeah. You're part of the problem, basically.
You're part of the problem. Yeah. And guess what? Everyone will know what's going on soon.
Well, that's if they don't open their fucking mouths too much themselves.
They already done that.
Yeah, they've done that.
They cut their own throat anyway, so I aren't bothered.
In other words, move on. The thing is, that's that, and that's what it is. So I'm just going to put on as well from the booker/promoter side. One thing I'm going to say right now, and this is me as a promoter. This is if I ever said these words, I would expect someone to fucking bitch slap me into next week. Do you agree to that, Tim?
Oh, yes, I would happily fucking bitch slap you into next week anyway, without you saying it, but go ahead.
Don't sit there to anybody else. You might have a disagreement with a worker and say, I don't have to book them, do I?
Oh, yeah. But I don't have to book anybody, do I, don't you mean?
I've heard that comment from multiple promoters and multiple bookers.
You booked that wrestler because you had a good understanding, a good working relationship with them, but for your attitudes to be as
I don't have to book them.
As I don't have to book them, do I? Well, okay then. You just be happy with putting on mediocre and shit shows when you put your faith in the wrong people.
Or the fact is, yes, it is your choice, but also understand if that choice is wrong, it's on you. That's on you. You made that decision. So understand, you come up with any excuse saying, oh, it's somebody else's fault, it's somebody else. No. You just made that comment. You're the one who's made the choice. You fucked up. If you're wrong. Fair enough if you're right, that's fine. That's, again, your prerogative. You were right. But 9 out of 10 times when that comment is usually used, it's not really followed up with, oh, I was right.
Yeah. I would say literally put 99.9% of the time. In fact, I
Yeah.
probably don't even know anybody who said that has been right.
Yeah.
But, okay.
But that I'm just saying the 99.9% because it can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It could happen. Maybe.
Yes.
So, that aside, don't do that. And I will hold you up to that rule, by the way.
Don't worry, I'll even spit on my hand for you.
So I'll see it coming then.
Oh, you'll hear it. You might not necessarily see it, but you'll definitely hear it.
And feel it. No,
Don't
but...
get fucking all shocked when it does fucking happen, because you know for a fact that I'll fucking tell you as well.
No, correct. It's
So
just...
one thing that we have going at UKWA is that we have a good understanding with one another.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a very good understanding. If we have a disagreement, it's sorted there and then. Verbally. Never needs to be physical, because there's no reason to be physical. It's adults having a conversation.
Yeah.
If it gets a little bit heated, we walk away, we cool off, we come back and we talk it out.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, hasn't really happened.
It has happened.
I don't know.
I'd say about once, but I wouldn't really say it was much. But even so, we walked away, dealt with it, come back, and spoke.
Yeah, exactly. Spoke about it, kissed and made up. I won't tell him that I kissed and made up, but you know, he doesn't know he doesn't know that we kissed.
You're in denial, I'm in denial, aren't I? But anyway, that aside, so don't be a dick. And lastly, on the this side of the toxicity within wrestling fans, fine. You're okay to have an opinion. You're okay to comment on certain individuals' pictures. One fan. Well, I'd say fan, but one fucking arsehole, I'm going to put him out as. I know someone put out a funny comment and everything, but body shaming? Go fuck yourself.
It's not just that, no. Fans, please be a bit more respectful when you're going to a show.
No, this individual wasn't even going to a show. It wasn't even going to a show. Just added a comment. Now, fair enough, it was a bit of a caption comment, which the individual turned around and says, "If children have got food on the table at the show, I might steal one." As a joke. But it was probably like a family member, a bit like, like a certain wrestler who went to their family stealing their drinks.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Not for me.
But yeah, that sort of thing happened at a show, and they were joking about it online, and somebody literally went on and blatantly put on, what was it? I believe, how about you stop putting food in your mouth, you're getting fat.
Yeah, but also this is another part of the toxicity side that I was just about to mention, is that also at shows, be a bit more respectful.
Yeah.
When you're coming out with homophobic slurs, just make sure that you're ready to take the backlash that follows it.
Understand that
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I understand if somebody's got Tourette's and they can't help but have outbursts, etc., etc. I understand that other individuals may not have the same mental capacity as other people, and they tend to say things that are a bit controversial or offensive.
Yeah.
Without understanding what the true meaning is. We understand that. Everybody understands that, and if they don't, then they really need to fucking check themselves. But when you have got somebody,
need to be educated.
yeah, or they need to be educated. But when you have got somebody who is a fully grown adult with full mental capacity sitting at ringside shouting homosexual slurs,
homophobic slurs.
Homophobic slurs. Same thing, near enough, but yeah, terminology, blah. But when you've got somebody that is doing that, I think they should consider themselves lucky to still be sitting there.
Yeah, because the thing is...
Granted, they only did it twice during the whole match, but once is enough.
Once is too much, personally.
Yeah,
once is too much.
Once is enough.
Yeah. You should learn from it, because the thing is, look at it this way. Would you want something like that being said to you? Would you like something like that being said to your children if you've got children, or grandchildren if you've got grandchildren? Would that be, would you want them being singled out? No,
because it's not only homophobic, but it's also bullying.
Yeah,
you're not only shaming that person for their appearance,
their uniqueness, their individuality.
No, just
yeah.
It's not just that.
For being themselves.
For being themselves, or whether it's just a gimmick, it doesn't matter. Because I know wrestlers that have got gimmicks that makes them seem like they are gay or bisexual, but they're straight.
Yeah, but they're not actually. But they're in full support of the
cause.
But
they are in full support of it.
Yeah.
But it's a gimmick. It's for show.
Yeah.
So when you are actually coming out with these homophobic slurs, not only are you actually hurting gay people in general, it's a bit like a racial. Well, it's all like a racial slur. You are pinpointing a certain thing about somebody that you don't like the look of, or you think that you can poke fun of, and you're making that person feel like crap, which also then spreads onto other people who feel the same way as the wrestler, and you make them feel like crap as well.
Yeah.
So this is a warning. There is a locker room full of wrestlers that disagree with your actions and your words, and they have got no shame in dragging you out and kicking you to the curb. So please just bear that in mind when you go to a show.
Go into a show. They could potentially just have you removed. Understand that your entry service could be revoked due to that nature.
Yeah, because if you turn up on the doorstep, we've got no problem with standing there and just saying, no, you're not welcome, fuck off.
Due to the way you've handled the situation, the way you've carried yourself unprofessionally.
Yeah, and we're not just targeting one person, we're targeting pretty much any individual that does it at a show.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you're built like a brick shit house. I fancy my chances with a locker room of lads behind me and women.
Yep.
Thought I'd have to just stick that one in there before somebody goes, I'm offended.
No. Whether you're male, female, whatever you consider yourself, anything. Doesn't matter.
I've got no problem telling you to leave because I find you repulsive. And if you refuse, I've got no problem sticking my head around the curtain, just going, lads, time to break kayfabe because it's time to kick shit out of somebody.
Yeah. In other words, drop the fucking hate.
Just drop it. Anyway, let's move on because
that's
obviously...
No, that's it. Drop the hate. I believe you were going on to a topic of things that you've watched, didn't you?
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously I've not really been a fan of it when it first started because I wasn't a fan of the Bella twins, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
But I started watching it not long ago. Okay, I'm on season 3. I started watching it. But since watching it, wrestlers that I did not like, watching them backstage and in their home lives, it gives me a whole newfound respect for them.
Yeah.
John Cena being one of them. And yeah, I'm talking about Total Divas. I've been watching that. And I've really enjoyed it. So far, I'm really enjoying it. So
That's all good. No, that's good.
I'm not a fan of reality TV shows. Really not. But that, it just gives me a whole newfound respect for Nikki, Brie, Cena. At the time, obviously, it was Daniel Bryan. So obviously, but watching Daniel Bryan I love Daniel Bryan anyway, or Bryan Danielson now.
Yeah.
I love him anyway because I think he's an amazing wrestler. But he's so funny.
Yeah.
And I would have never have put him and Brie together in a million years. But they are such a good couple.
Yeah.
And they bounce off one another. And his humour is so funny.
Yeah.
That it's just really intrigued me. And not only that, wrestlers at the time, I think it's like circa 2014, I think it is.
Yeah.
Where I'm watching it from. And, Paige is on it. It gives me a whole new insight to Paige and how she was backstage and what she had to face backstage and how she literally held that women's locker room together. And she did.
Yeah.
You could tell that just by her fun-loving attitude. She didn't really like falling out with people. If she got an opinion, she'd say it. Even to somebody at legendary status like Natalia, she literally is like...
Oh, yeah.
During the one episode where she was being overly sexualized in the ring and Natalia didn't like it because she's quite prudish. But Paige's explanation to that is, look, I'm a heel. It's my character. Please don't tell me not to do something because it's my character. How am I supposed to work with you if you're not willing to accept that? And eventually Natalia actually came round and then started horsing around.
Yeah.
And it was like silly things, like she took Natalia to a house party. She started eating the brownies. She started feeling a bit funny after eating the brownies and then decided to turn around and say to it, I forgot to tell you them are magic brownies. And then about a couple of days later, when she was panicking about a drug test at WWE, because obviously their wellness policy is quite shit hot nowadays. Nowadays, I just said. The wellness policy, Natalia was fucking stressing about it. Decided to have like a miniature car accident so she didn't have to go in because she was scared about these magic brownies being in the system. Paige to actually turn around and say, I'm really sorry, but there was nothing in that. There was no marijuana in them brownies. It was just a joke. I found that so funny. And you could
but at
tell.
the same time, it also goes to show the placebo effect is so fucking strong.
It is, and it's like, oh my god. It was like, talk about it. I mean, some of it obviously is over dramatized for show, but there is a degree of realism to it.
Yeah.
Obviously the whole couple of breakups that Cena and Nikki Bella had and stuff like that. The tension between them two and her wanting kids and marriage and stuff like that, and it's just it brings it back. You know what I mean? It brings it back down to a normal level where you've got the fun side of them being backstage, but also there is a degree of seriousness to it as well.
Yeah.
And I've also realised that some female wrestlers were actually just getting over drug addiction or alcoholic. They were alcoholics. They've been clean and stuff like that, and listening to their stories, it's very fucking interesting. Minus the drama. If you put the drama to one side and you watch it, it is really intriguing.
Yeah, because you're getting a bit of an insight.
And also, with the flashbacks as well, I think to myself, it's like, so, say if I remember a certain part, and I'm like, I remember the certain time of when it happened, like the whole Natalia and Paige matches when she licked her face and stuff like that. Then you know what happened backstage, and I'm like,
oh,
I remember that.
Yeah.
It brings it all together as a whole, and I'm just like, it's really, really interesting.
Yes.
It is. And I mean, obviously, kayfabe's fucking dead now anyway. You can keep a degree of kayfabe for, the argument of kids' sakes, but as adults...
It's real to me, damn it.
It's not real to you. Then why did you oversell a nipple twist?
Because it hurts.
How do you explain the psychic wrestler who psychically twisted somebody's penis? Is that real to you, damn it?
Wasn't saying it was real. I was just
you
quoting.
Say no. Was that real to you,
No,
Matt
it
Burns?
wasn't. Not to me. Of course it wasn't. Of course it wasn't. I was just using the phrases, you get some people who say that. Fuck's sake. You have to take everything literal.
No. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think you're full of shit.
Well, you've got a stomach. Last time I checked. So you're full of shit. I'm full of shit. Everyone's full of shit.
What's my stomach got to do with me being full of shit?
Because you have to go shit, don't you, now and again? So
what, out of my stomach?
No, out of your body.
Out of my intestines, Mr. Byrne.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not a doctor.
You're supposed to be the intelligent one.
How much information do you think I can retain?
Wow. Just fucking wow. So
How much information?
No. Next time you go for have a sit down wee matey, and you'll see straight through to China because you dropped your bowels, I'm going to remind you that it came from your bowels. That came out of your butthole, landed in the toilet like a nuclear bomb, and went straight through to China.
Yeah, just feel sorry for what happened yesterday.
Oh, you mean like when I could see you having a poo through the door and I just walked up to the door and went, I can smell you.
Oh, no. The aftermath
it's a
of that.
good job that he hadn't actually dropped his bombs by that point, because I
it was.
I probably would have just gone.
No, safety reason. All I'll say to you is, I had to vacate the area.
I feel sorry because there was only one fucking toilet in the men's room.
I at least opened the window.
Crack a window.
No, it wasn't crack a window. It was like, get the window open, I can't breathe.
It's like with your dad bit his titties.
No, it was proper. I was like, I can't breathe. I don't know if I can go open the window. There we go.
It always does make me wonder how sometimes... It's because you've got quite short arms. I wonder sometimes how you actually wipe your arms.
I've got short arms. Are you kidding me? No, I don't. No, I don't. I've short arms.
Are you like Rex out of Toy Story?
Am I fuck? What the fuck?
You're definitely not. You're definitely not like the little kid out of Big Daddy, are you?
No.
I wipe my own ass.
I'm not like that, for God's sake. My arms are quite lengthy for someone of my stature. Yes, I'm fucking short in the height. Jesus.
Oh God! I think
I'm probably. What's even worse is in my own family and household, I'm probably one of the rare few individuals who can reach the fucking top of the fucking wardrobes and everything. on top of the kitchen, the kitchen sides. I'm not the one having to step onto fucking chairs.
Yeah, but you're not the youngest looking one, so.
You're older than me, remember?
Yeah, and I still look younger than you.
No.
Yes.
No. Anyway,
I always
point
get
being...
it all the time. Oh, James, you only look about 30, 31 when I ask people how old they think I am. Oh, you only look about 30, 31. I'm like, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
No, they just want to abuse you.
And I'm just like, oh, do you want me to tell you how old I really am? And he was just like, oh, what? How old are you really? You're not 40, are you? I was like, no, but I'm not far off. I'm 36. Oh, but you look so young. Oh, look at you. And he start pinching your cheeks and...
You know what I'm just gonna do when they do that? I'm just gonna walk past and just go, he's actually 22.
Why would you do that? That's such a dick move.
Rough paper round.
That's such a dick move.
Really?
Yes, that's such a dick move. If you fucking walk around now...
You almost fucked up, Dan. You almost fucked up. Oh!
What did I say?
You almost fucked up. I heard the slip of the tongue almost. It was like...
Well, you know what they say. Life is like oral sex. One slip of the tongue, you're in the shit.
Yeah, but anyway, it could be worse. It could be just taking a needle to the eye.
Fuck it. I took a needle to the eye.
Only a select few people will know about that.
Now, if everybody's wondering, from a wrestling fan's perspective, you wonder what the car journeys are like for wrestlers when they're going to and from shows. And when you've got to share a car with Charles Kelsey and me, it's not the easiest of car trips. It really isn't. Matt Burns is testament to that.
Yes.
But when it's coming very, very late to the night and everyone's really tired, it's 1 a.m, and you're just dropping off, and a certain song comes on, and they literally lean their head forwards whilst everything's quiet and just go, I took a needle to the eye. And they get the words to the song so quietly, we burst out laughing, and Matt Burns nearly crashed the car. I took a needle to the eye. I was like, what the fuck what was that?
I'm trying to fucking concentrate, you bastard!
It's like it's foggy as well. He's like, oh, I'm trying to concentrate, matey. I can't concentrate when you're doing this to me, matey. I can't do it anymore, matey. What's going on, matey?
Because of my diabetes.
And it's like, diabetes, matey. Got diabetes. I've got to concentrate, matey. I've got my Steven Seagal glasses on, matey. I've got them on, matey.
Oh, no.
And then all he got is like, I took a needle to the eye. Oh, fucking hell. That makes that to crack me up.
Honestly, it's just genius.
Comedy gold.
Yeah. It is. It could be worse. It could just be, you could be screaming at someone going, how do you like me now? Spiderweb.
Yeah. It's nice when you live rent-free in somebody's head, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, just a little bit. And,
just
where you got somebody who you don't even think of at all, but they're thinking of you so much all the time that they're having to spread their hate to individuals who aren't actually friends with them, but for friends with you. It's like, it goes to show how much they've got fuck all in their lives that they have to think about you all the time.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, how did HPW go yesterday? I don't know.
No idea.
We'll have to try and check in.
We'll check in on that. As we always say, check out your local promotions.
Promotions.
Anyway, for me, there's one topic that I was meant to have discussed last week but didn't discuss this week.
What's that?
Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah, you wanted to talk about The Witcher. Toss a coin to your Witcher.
Unfortunately, it just won't be the right bloke now. I don't know how they're going to do it. You know you fucked up when you've got the guy who loves the whole series, the whole lot, is... Yeah, I'm going to have to pass on this one. Yeah, you've just not just lost a great actor for that one character. You just lost the character. You just lost the great actor who knows all the fucking lore.
Well, it's not just that though. He knew the character. He knew the fucking lore, and he was like, "Oh God, he was perfect for the role." And now it's just we've got. I don't know. I've got a feeling, a very big feeling, that show's gonna bomb.
I feel like it's gonna bomb.
I mean, I'm all for giving people a chance, but
yeah,
it's a little
Liam Hemsworth could be good at it.
It's a little late in the series, though, to be making changes.
A major change like that.
Yeah.
Because it is a major change.
Yeah.
Why is it a major change? You know. Really? So what are they going to do? Fucking just do full facial reconstruction. This is his... And don't go down the route of... This is a fake look. His real look is this.
No, what you could do is just say, oh, it's just Warner Brothers giving us tips on CGI again. For Henry Cavill. Just don't mention the mustache. I've got a question for you. Have you watched Black Adam yet?
Have you?
No.
I already had something spoiled of it.
Well, yeah, it's a fucking obvious spoiler because The Rock just couldn't hold his tongue.
It wasn't The Rock who spoiled it for me.
It was for me. I was like, oh, it's another interesting video from The Rock. Let's have a watch. And I instant regret.
Oh.
It's like, you motherfucker.
I had a spoiler warning on it.
Yeah, he didn't have a spoiler warning on it. And don't say, oh, it's a bit of a spoiler, literally, and then because you're The Rock, able to speed up your voice to tell us what the spoiler is straight away after you've said it's a spoiler. I'm the one that brought back Superman. I'm like, oh my God, you motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying, like, what if you get?
That's like literally yelling surprise at somebody.
No.
When it's dark. And no, I wasn't going to say the usual saying. When it's dark and they've just walked into a room. Surprise!
And don't expect that, and
Spoiler
you'd be
alert.
surprised by them swinging a punch at you.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
That is how spoilers feel to me. So not only am I annoyed, I want to punch Dwayne Johnson on the nose.
What, the pebble?
I actually watched a Graham Norton fucking video not long ago as well. Or was it Graham Norton or was it Jonathan Ross? I think it was Jonathan Ross.
No, Graham Norton.
No, there was another one. I think it was Jonathan Ross. It was an old one. When they were saying that somebody said that the back of the Rock's head coincidentally looks like a tip of a penis.
Oh, no, that was Jonathan Ross.
Yeah, that was Jonathan Ross.
Yeah, definitely. It couldn't be as funny as the other meme that someone turns around and says, if someone wants the perfect gimmick to defeat The Rock, they just have to become the paper.
Oh my God, that is so fucking lame. You do know that the game of paper, rock, scissors is actually just a game of a snake eating its own tail.
Ouroboros. That's what it says.
It just...
did I just catch you off guard that I actually knew what the actual fucking name was of that?
It did a little bit, yeah. Because, when you said to me about you can only contain so much information, but you couldn't remember where poo comes from,
go fuck yourself.
How it's formed, but yet you can remember the real name for rock, paper, scissors. You are full of so much useless information.
Yeah.
It is unreal. For God's sake, stop flicking through Google, just sign into your Pornhub account and chuff away.
No.
Spend your time a little bit more constructively in finding a woman.
Oh my God, I'm not going to say what I was just about to say there. For fuck's sake, no, I was not going to say that. Good God.
Okay.
I was going to fire at you just a minute ago, and this is, I know you would have had material to fire back at.
Oh, please do say.
And even that would even sounds wrong now saying it. I have individuals who literally walk up to me and ask me this question, and I'll just look at them as just to say, it's Movember. It's nothing fucking else to me. If you want to do that, that's up to entirely fucking you. The triple N. You know what I'm referring to, don't you? Fuck off. You want to torture yourselves like that? That's your choice. Go on.
No.
You can't think of it.
No, I'm just not saying anything.
Yeah. You know, if I fired that at you,
in other words, you were just saving yourself the embarrassment.
Yeah. Because I knew you would have actually had a gritty banter. Exactly.
Well, matey, don't worry, because we all know that the world is your oyster.
Could be worse, could be moisture.
Charmaine, motherfucker.
Fuck's sake! Oh, fuck.
Fired any more children out lately?
No comment.
Oh, matey.
No comment.
Matey,
because they do listen in.
It's good 14 years. 14 years, matey. He makes you moister than an oyster.
Fuck's sake. Just
than an oyster.
Fucking wow.
Don't worry, he has the fluffy mateys.
Right. I have a question for you for this week. And it's something you're going to have to answer.
Giggity.
What's your funny story for the week?
Oh. Oh, I don't know if I should say that one.
Why?
It's a bit grim.
No. We don't want to go too grim.
It's not like blood or anything like that. It is quite funny to people who have been in that state before, because they will be quite understanding, I would imagine.
Does it involve alcohol?
Yes.
Why do I feel like a lot of these stories that I've got in my head right now seem to involve alcohol?
I don't know, because mainly that is when funny things happen, is when we think that we are invincible, and then we touch the devil juice and it turns out to be our kryptonite. And yes,
Talking geek now.
yes, and it is just, it's not okay.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to share with the group? And no, it's not an AA
It's not.
meeting.
Just not say it's not a fucking AA meeting. Fucking hell, I'm not that bad.
I think I was referring to myself in the old days.
Oh God. Well, it's still, it's a bit of a lengthy story, but I'll try and cut it short.
The floor's yours.
Okay, so on a Sunday, just before the bank holiday Monday, my neighbour who lives across the road came across. We fired up the fire on the back in the stove, and we were having a jolly good time. And because it's bank holiday Monday, the next day we haven't got work, so I just said, "Oh well, you fancy a beer?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sweet. Well, I'll have a beer with you." Yeah, I didn't realise at the time that my stomach was growing an intolerance to ale.
Oh dear.
And anyway, after about 3 or 4 bottles each of ale and about 7 or 8 cans of Budweiser Light. Yes, it was Budweiser Light, but it's still gassy. But then we decided to demolish about a bottle and a half of Jack Daniels with lemonade between us. And my neighbour came round to about midnight, and he was absolutely smashed. He took the sip of his last drink. He looked at me and he just goes, "Hey, can you help me across home, mate?" "Why? What's up?" I'm a bit drunk, and I picked my wife up at 6 in the morning. I said, "You ain't gonna be fucking ready for 6 in the morning, are you? Look at the state of you."
Hells no.
Anyway, managed to walk him through the house, took him across the road, opened his front door for him. I felt fine at this point. Just drunk. Just felt drunk. He fell through his door. He lay on the floor on his back, tilted his head up towards me and just went, "Can you just push my feet in the door and then lock the door and push the key through after?" Like, right, okay, how are you getting to bed? "I'll figure that one out, don't worry." "Okay, are you going to be okay?" "Yeah, I'll be fine." "Okay then." Locked the door, pushed the key, got halfway across the road as I was walking back home, and then it suddenly hit me. Oh. I was then also smashed. The fresh air must have really, really hit me. Bearing in mind that we've been sitting outside, so it doesn't really make sense, but I'd gone from the inside to the outside, and the fucking road just started. Literally, it was like the yellow brick road. It was all twisty and turny, and
It was higgledy-piggledy.
Oh yes. There was no ninky nonks or tinky tonks or binky bonks or higgledy piggledies or whoopsie daisies.
Well, there could be a whoopsie daisy when you hit the floor.
Oh, that's just the beginning. So then I proceeded to fall through my side door as I entered my house and fell flat on my face. I managed to then drag myself up off the floor and remembered to lock the door.
At least you remembered.
And then I thought, oh, I need to put the lid on top of the fire outside, on the chimney of the stove outside. Okay. So as I stumbled through my living room, I must have accidentally tripped up on the carpet and ended up face planting my patio door window And the only reason why I know this is because when I woke up in the morning, because I don't remember much after that, I just remember being sick outside, and that was it. And having a little bit of a cry to myself. So I woke up on the sofa in the morning, sick bowl by my side, covered in what only could be described as my Sunday dinner from that day.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt horrible. Oh, God. The bowl was empty, but I was covered. And I thought nothing of it. And I was like, oh, I need to move. I need to get a drink of water. But I needed a wee. So I went to the downstairs toilet to have a wee. And I stood into the downstairs toilet, and my feet got wet. I was like, what the hell is going on here? It's like, is the toilet leaking? Is it, what's happened?
Toilet's not leaked.
Yeah, it turned out the toilet didn't leak. What happened? Because I did have like a toilet mat that you have around the bottom of your toilet. And that was gone. I was like, I've been robbed. Somebody's robbed my toilet mat. What the fuck's going on? But I looked in the toilet, and there was a massive poo in the toilet as well.
Oh dear.
And remember from the prequel for Dumb and Dumber, the dad.
Oh dear.
There's shit everywhere. I had poo all around my toilet, and I don't know how. So not only were my feet wet, but I got poo in the toilet. And then I realised...
I have a story to possibly tell you off air, never to be on air, because of other participants.
I looked into the toilet, and I felt sick, so I flushed it, wiped it down. I was like, oh, right, okay. So then I decided to have another number 2 and another number 1. And I swear at some point there was a number 3 in there somewhere and a number 4. But I can't explain what it was.
At least I just hope it was in one.
It was more or less the case of where the fuck's my bath mat? Why is the floor so wet? And why was the pool around my toilet? So then it's like, when you just start getting like flashbacks of what happened. I had a flashback of me actually sitting on the toilet how I was at that particular time. And I remember having a poo, but then I remember that my penis was not tucked between my legs.
Oh no.
So as I was having a number 2, my number 1 was also coming out, but not in the toilet. It was covered all over the floor.
It could have been worse. It could have been a number 3. And if you listen to if you know a certain song, no.
Well, let's just put it this way. It was like somebody had fired a super soaker in my downstairs toilet.
Oh no.
But then I was like, oh crap, I've got to clean this up. So I cleaned it all up, bleached it all down, washed it. I felt better for it. I didn't feel sick. But then I walked over to my bin to chuck some of the tissue paper away that, the kitchen towel that we used to clean round things because I couldn't find a cloth.
Yeah.
Went for put it in the bin. Where was my bath mat? Where was my toilet mat? It was in the fucking bin.
Oh dear.
I didn't remember doing this.
Oh dear.
And then I thought, oh God, I better go check on that fire, make sure it's gone out outside. Because obviously it's in a safe place. Don't worry, people. The fire was in a safe place. It was in like one of them steel stoves that's on the outside. It got a gate on it, and it was in the middle of my yard, so it couldn't set fire to anything, etc., etc. That part I was safe about. But then I saw it. I walked through to the living room, and there was a very vague imprint of my face smushed up against the glass. And then I was like, I had another flashback. I remember my face, like I must have knocked myself unconscious because I just remember waking up with my face smushed up against the glass. And then I looked down and then there was sick all over the floor on the outside. And then I had a phone call saying, how are you feeling today? I feel terrible. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You were crying on the phone last night because you wanted me to come and look after you because you'd thrown up all over yourself, bashed your face into the window, and shit and pissed all over your toilet floor. Oh. Right. Please tell me I didn't do anything else that was embarrassing. No comment. And to this day, that said person will not tell me what I did. And I can't remember it. Now, some would say that was a great night. Not when you wake up covered in piss, shit, and sick.
Right. I can possibly top you on that one.
Well,
It'll take a while.
Considering this is supposed to be a short episode, you better make it fucking quick.
I'm not going to be mentioning it. Don't worry. I'm not going to go there because believe me when I say this, that story is... Oh, boy. Let's just say this. A lot of us have been sworn to secrecy to... We don't talk about it.
That's okay. You can mention it to me later.
All I'll say to you is... One of them is... We don't talk about Blackpool. We don't talk about Blackpool. And the other one, I can't tell you the full story. I've only heard partly of what I did from other people. Because inebriated is the understatement of the century. Good boy. I also have the placebo effect story, which I'll save for another time. But if you want more drunken escapades, believe me, I've got a few. I could always go through the Grand National one, but again, that involves drunken escapades and not me doing it. I just couldn't believe that someone was stupid enough to do what is considered the Grand National for 20p.
Never mind. Anyway.
And the pain that happened. Oh!
Never mind. Anyway, we can save that for another time. I think
that is for another time, definitely. But we've got enough stories for another time.
Yes.
No, I'm already doing that. I'm already doing that.
As I keep trying to say, we need to wrap up now, people, because not only is it a long episode, which should have been a short episode, but we need to move on and finally wrap up. Okay.
Yes, we are going to wrap up.
Let's wrap up. Thank you.
Wait, we are going to wrap up.
No!
But we have one more thing to say, and it has to be said. We have to say it because if we don't... This needs to be stated because it's to do with Tuesday. You do know you're just prolonging it back. Right. This Tuesday is a special day for the Burning Truth.
It certainly is.
Yeah. And I've just realised the irony of it as well, the fact that it's on the 8th as well. It's on the 8th, Tuesday the 8th. It is the 8th year anniversary of the Burning Truth. What the fuck happened?
I don't know, you blinked and farted or sharted, whatever you want to call it.
someone probably played brown noise, and that was it. Game over.
Yeah, just make sure it's not in my downstairs toilet.
No, I think you did enough. I think you punched that enough.
Fucking did. I punched that ticket more than enough.
But yeah, we will be putting out a message across the social media, which will be an image celebrating that day. So if anybody wants to add any comments on there, or put out if you want to hear any certain funny stories from us, any more drunken escapades, or have any suggestions you want to hear from us, put it on there.
Yeah, put it on there.
Put it on there. But with that being said, as always, mental health is a serious matter. It is okay to be not okay. Asking for help isn't a weakness. In doing so, for asking for help, you can find out that there's more care for you than you could ever know, be it either a family member, a friend, even a stranger. Never compare your behind the scenes to other people's greatest hits. Make yourself a priority once in a while. It's not selfish, it's necessary. Be excellent to each other. Of course, please, 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 for fuck's sake, follow the number one rule in general life, which is, of course,
don't be a dick.
Yes, especially the ones that are absolutely narcissistic and wants to fuck a chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
And yes, that was me being blatantly in regards to somebody, but
I don't know. I thought you were quite subtle.
Just enough, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be a fucking wally. Oh wait, it's both. Is that enough for you?
Certainly a filthy bastard.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And, I had somebody sit there saying, can I go there? Yeah, you need to know this, this, and this. Yeah, I'm going to fuck off away from that wally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not a problem. So, with that being said, we hope you all stay well, stay safe. And until the next episode, we always recommend you check out your local wrestling promotions. I have, of course, been Matt Burns.
And I have been very interesting.
He is, of course, James Irvine, and it has been emotional. We'll hopefully catch you on the next episode of The Burning Truth. So until then, stay well, stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Diabetes.
Never mind that shit. Here comes Rongo. I forgot.